They were basically saying that they hate George Washington. And I just wondered, do you hate George Washington?
I don't hate him.
Well, it's arguing with Tom and Jerry.
I'm
Arguing,
Tom. I'm Jerry.
arguing with Tom and Jerry. Arguing.
He's Tom. And he's Jerry.
I think the price went up on that stuff, and so I did an online search for next best or like an equivalent non-name brand.
That's a
And
good brand. I like that brand, Next Best.
uh and so I've been giving them that other stuff that's just comes from like the pet department side of Walmart. Like if Hamas is like a military wing of, well, no, that doesn't work.
Well,
Cut that out.
well, if it's a military wing of the Iranian diaspora.
No, I don't think any of that's right.
Okay.
We have, I thought it might be nice to address some of the comments from our listeners.
Oh, that's good. I mean, I don't know if we'll have time to get to all of them.
No, maybe not, but should we at least start? We haven't even
Yeah,
started.
I had some of them written down as well. You go ahead.
I'll do mine first. The first one goes back, let's see, to the, I think it's a second episode, and the comment comes from listener Atom,
Mm,
Atom,
yeah.
and it says, "Yeah, could I get the baked ziti with a side Kaiser salad?"
It's $14.99, I think, isn't it, on our website?
The side?
Fourteen
Oh,
ninety
with
nine
the
for the
baked
side.
ziti.
The sides come with the meal for another $14.99.
Well, what I was wondering is if you ordered the Caesar salad,
Yep.
you know how that's going to show up.
Yep.
But if you order the Kaiser salad, which is spelled the same,
Mm.
but you pronounce it Kaiser, it comes out with like a lid with a spike on it.
I totally miss this, and so I'm the slow guy in the Tom and Jerry episode. Yes, the Kaiser salad probably would come out with a spiked helmet on top of it.
Yeah, so we addressed that
It'd be
one. Yes,
instead of crouton.
the answer to his question is yes, he can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Hey, that reminds me of another song.
It does. So we might have some
The
copyright violations if we tried to include that one, though. I think that one's released on the planet. But it would be
Might
interesting
get
to see
sued.
if the YouTube artificial intelligence would be able to detect it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could get sued by like Jason Beers or something.
Yeah.
All right, the next question is from a listener by the name of Jason. It's not him though. It's a different Jason.
Right.
And it says, and this is going back to the first episode where we were talking about Bruce Lee and his philosophy to flow like water.
Yeah.
And we were saying, well, Bruce, I can't really not flow like water. I'm 98% water. I kind of have no choice.
Right.
And we were saying, we went on and on, like, well, maybe he was saying, don't settle for 98%, go the extra mile.
That's right. Be
Anyway,
industrious.
somewhere in there, you must have said that Bruce Lee was Korean because Jason says, hey, Tom, Bruce Lee isn't Korean. And then the F word with a question mark, exclamation, question mark, exclamation. So clearly upset about that.
Well,
I don't know if you wanted to address it.
I saw that comment, and I just wanted to, as is often the case, I misspoke there, and I wanted to apologize to
It happens.
all of the Mongolian people of the world on behalf of Bruce Lee and his lineage.
It's a mistake. It could happen to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
We have another comment that says, could we get a history and a where are they now on the Coffee King of Nashville and or the Angel Baby Killer? Over on the forums, a lot of the listeners have been champing,
Mm-hmm.
question marks, at the bit to hear their stories. I don't even know what any of that means.
That's probably another different episode or something. I don't know what it means either. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, okay, so the next one says, I was wondering how many stacked overdrive pedals are too many. At what point is it diminishing returns?
Yeah.
Again, I don't have a clue what that means.
Common question. I usually try not to use more than one.
That's a quick
So
answer.
one would be my answer.
The other comment that I thought we should address, I don't have it here in front of me, but I saw it earlier. Um, and the listener said he was disappointed and frustrated that we spent all our time talking about the actor named Reginald Denny rather than the truck driver Reginald Denny
Yeah.
from Rodney King fame. And I just thought to address that, I don't really want to get into sensitive, difficult racial topics, so we avoided that one, and we focused on the Reginald Denny that was the actor, and that's why we did that.
I thought we were focusing on the truck driver one.
What did you want to talk about today?
Well, I had some comments that I wanted to address as well. This one comes from Larry. It says, "Your lo-fi, slow-form conversational sarcasm is unlistenable." And I was like, "Thank you, Larry. I appreciate that." Like,
At least he took the time.
yeah, mission accomplished. And then this one said, this comment says, "It was a perfect phone call," as from Donald. And so thanks, Donald. I appreciate that comment.
It was a comment for us.
Yeah, as they said he said it was a perfect phone call. I don't know.
Okay.
I thought maybe he's looking at what we're doing as like a phone call or something.
Hey, I was listening to a podcast recently.
Mm-hmm.
These gals were talking about. I never heard this before. I never heard anyone say this before, and I just thought it was kind of funny. They were basically saying that they hate George Washington, and I just wondered, like, if you ever thought about that, because I never thought that I could just say I hated George Washington for several reasons, lots of reasons, really. I mean,
Yeah.
so far removed from the guy for one, but I still have him in some kind of a place where I think he's more good than bad, still, like, my innocence
Yeah.
still thinks that George Washington's probably pretty good for the most part, but they said they hate him. I thought that was strong language. Wondered if you had a thought. Like, do you hate George Washington?
I don't hate him. I went to his plantation where he kept his slaves and everything last summer.
See, I bet. Yeah, that's probably has a lot to do with that. I bet.
What?
Their comment that he had a plantation.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. That because he had a plantation and slaves, that's why they hate him.
I'm guessing.
Well,
I didn't think about that. But they were saying he was a liar,
wow.
and
Imagine
I don't
that.
know.
I don't know. So George Washington, when he died, his plantation where he lived, he had place where their home was, and then all these other outbuildings and gardens and all this other stuff, and they would have guests all the time, and they, like something like 500 guests per year. And when the guests came, he had a place where the guests slaves, they stayed in their own spot, and his slaves took care of the guests. So the guest slaves weren't necessarily allowed to take care of their slave owner people while they were guests of George Washington. His slaves took care of them. And so they had guests every night, and they had sitting rooms and fireplaces and this and that. And keep in mind as well, like, there are no toilets back then, so it's all
Right.
bedpans. So George Washington was courteous and kind enough that he had his slaves taking care of his guests' bedpans rather than having his guest slaves have to take care of the bedpans while they were visiting. So the slaves got a few nights off of taking care of the bedpans, and
That's not nothing. That's not nothing.
no. And so the night George Washington died, he was out riding his horse out in the countryside, and it was wintertime, it was cold, and it was rainy. And he came back, and there were some new guests. And Martha's sitting there entertaining the guests, and George comes walking in, and he says, hello, great to see you here. And he's so conscious of being a good host that instead of taking his wet clothes off and warming up a little bit before he came down to have a glass of wine or whatever they might have been doing, he just sat there and kept hanging out with them. And this
Caught his death of cold.
this resulted in him dying from the cold that he had caught while he was out riding the countryside, saving the country.
Yeah, and knowing all that, how could you say you hate him? I mean, listen
Right?
to all that.
I know. I don't know.
But they do this whole thing. They touch on a lot of topics. They do a timeline twist and a zodiac back and all this stuff. And it's a podcast that I listen to.
Yeah, it sounds like a good one.
It's called You Ain't a Woofin'.
Okay.
You Ain't a Woofin' podcast. I thought I'd give it a little plug because I listened to it, and they hate George Washington.
Well, I would give them a listen, but I'm going to be a little skeptical.
Yeah. Well, I kind of spoiled it.
I was thinking the other day, I picked up this book right here, this one.
Little House on the Prairie.
This one right here. You can, if you do you judge a book by its cover?
A little bit. But I mean, that probably had, well, maybe that didn't have a dust jacket.
No, it didn't. It's really old. It's like it was published in like the 20s or something.
Okay.
But it's called the Ching.
Oh, yeah.
And I was, leafing through it the other night, and I've picked it up over the years and looked at it. And so I was taking another stab at it, and it has a preface and a foreword and an introduction. And I just thought immediately, like, any book that has a preface and a foreword and an introduction must be nonsense. The preface, after I get through the table of contents, which is fairly immense, the preface is XIII, and then it ends on, I don't know, some other number, and then the forward is X something else, and it's like another 7, 10, 14, 15 pages. Oh wait, I didn't even see this. Then there's the translator's note, and that's 6 pages long. And then here's the preface, and it's 2 pages long. And then here's the introduction: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 pages long. There's like all of that. Here, all of that is preface, introduction, translator's notes, forward, and then you finally get to the text.
That's a lot of appetizers before the entree.
Right? I'm already full. And then not to mention that the book seems like a bunch of nonsense as well.
You don't have to read it.
It was one of them that I felt like should be on the bookshelf, And then when I was an ignorant young man, I was like, oh, runes are cool. I had some runes, like some rocks in a bag. And then it's like you could read draw 3 runes, Jake. When I was talking to my buddy Jake, I was like, draw 3 runes. And he's like, okay, here's this. And it's like, here's this line, and here are these lines. And then you could talk to them about what they were or what they weren't. And you could maybe tell the future or tell them something about themselves.
I used to do that with entrails. I would read the entrails of a dead animal.
Oh, I see.
And then I would interpret what they meant, the way they were formulated.
Right.
I knew a guy who would catch alley cats and then skin them and then make bracelets and stuff out of their fur.
Okay. How did he do with that? Was he making a lot of money?
I don't know why he did it. but he did it. I saw the skins laid out being stretched, and like I thought it was disgusting.
The
And
alley
he just,
cats were already dead, or he was killing the alley cats?
I think he was killing them.
Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah,
You should have reported that
not
to the authorities.
really.
Kinda.
Hmm.
I mean,
Well,
unless
too late now.
yeah, it is too late now. And that guy's probably in prison or something anyway, right?
No, I don't think so. I think he's pretty successful
Oh, that's good.
artist.
That's a successful artist.
I think so. Believe it or not, for real.
I was thinking about how different brands or companies or services and what they name their companies, how that translates to what they actually do. So, for instance, Carnival Cruise Lines. I was like, okay, I don't want to. I've never really wanted to get on a big cruise ship because
In the first
it
place.
seems like a nightmare. And then these guys call themselves
Yeah, let alone
Carnival
every
Cruise Lines.
on every level of the cruise ship is like carnies.
Right. It's like come and live in a carnival for 5 days out on the open sea.
Filthy clowns everywhere.
Right. Water slides,
Really
casinos,
stupid games with
guessing
dumb
games.
little
Yeah,
guns,
yeah, exactly.
terrible prizes.
But on the other hand, I I commend them for being transparent about what their product is.
Everyone says they're going to be the most transparent, and then no one ever does it. So at least Carnival Cruise Lines is keeping it real.
Right. So, like, if Elon Musk bought Amazon, then what would he rename it? Musk Mart is the answer. Musk Mart.
Yeah, that is the answer.
Right? Musk Mart is the answer. So, hamburger, although I've heard stories that hamburgers weren't actually invented in Hamburg, Germany, a hamburger
Really?
has some kind of origin in the name of the origin or lineage of the place that it was made. Hamburger. Sandwich.
No, I always thought right, exactly. I was.
The
And you're
Earl of
saying
Sandwich.
you're saying hamburger had nothing to do with Hamburg?
I've heard that, but it does. But I'm going to say that it does.
Yeah.
There's some sort of connection between the name of the thing and the thing that it is. Like sandwich, or the Earl of
Very
Sandwich,
logical.
right? The
Yeah,
Earl of Sandwich was
exactly.
like, I have these 2 pieces of bread. I have this piece of meat. I'm gonna
Hmm.
put them together and
Texas toast.
Texas toast, a casserole, like Mama Cass, like like I'm just a
Right.
big mess of shit, right? uh,
That's where casserole got its name.
right.
Right.
Pie has something to do with a circle, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
3.14.
what about hot dog? I was struggling with hot. Like I understand they're hot, but where's the dog part come from? Because they don't really look like a dog. And
Is it maybe by the time you get to the wordage hot dog, from maybe that's way down the line of a lot of other names like Wiener Schnitzel. Like isn't that
mhm.
uh so then you got like the wiener dog,
Oh, okay, I see. I
that's
see.
just kind of like long and tubular dog.
Okay, okay,
And so then maybe instead you just call it a dog.
okay. That's fair. Rather than a hot wiener schnitzel or a wiener
I don't even
schnitzel.
know what that is. I thought schnitzel was like pounded out flat and fried.
It is.
Oh,
It is. So if you
so
go
is
to
that
Germany and you get
a wiener
schnitzel,
dog
is
fried
smashed out and everything. So I don't know. It doesn't really your explanation doesn't really make sense.
unless it was made from those wiener dogs?
Oh, they pounded it out and then they rolled it back up and it
Well,
was made
no.
from the
Yeah,
okay, I got it. I got it.
that's probably the answer to that one.
Okay, well that helps me understand that. I was
What's another one? Idaho potatoes. That's another one.
they're potatoes, they're made in Idaho. right?
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna keep it. I was trying to keep it going.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Like the Leaning Tower of Pizza.
yeah, that's
That's
a good
another
one.
one.
I was thinking it used to be called Twitter, which I mean makes sense a little bit, I guess, because it's kind of like this, just conversations out in the
Just
atmosphere,
birds
a
chirping.
Twitter thing, and then the genius Elon Musk, he's like, I'm buying this, and now it's called X. Like, what's that have to do with anything?
I never under. I know. I don't know. I
Fucking
never
stupid.
understood it.
It's fucking stupid.
But it's his company. He can do whatever he wants with it.
He can, but it makes no sense. I
So
like
maybe
the
he's playing.
companies to reflect in their name what they do.
I bet he has an
Guitar Center.
explanation. That's
What do they
clear and
do?
obvious.
What is that? What is that place? I don't know.
It's
I
not a
wonder
grocery
what that
store.
place is. Guitar Center.
Yeah.
Yeah. X. Stupid.
What? Yeah, I don't. I've never looked into why he did it. I'm sure that he had a reason. He had to have
Ego.
a reason.
Ego.
Well, of course he's got an ego. I mean, I don't think you get to that level in life without having some serious self-confidence.
But it would seem
But
like you'd have some more intelligence and a little bit better judgment than to just decide, because I bought it, I'm going to rename it. And I'm going to rename it something that doesn't mean anything or have anything to do with anything. SpaceX, X, Tesla X, X Tesla, all the,
he should just change it. He should change it to Tesla.
Tesla. Just call it all one thing. Tesla.
Yeah.
Weren't him and the Facebook guy going to fight? And then
Yeah.
that all kind of like, what happened?
I think he realized he was going to get killed.
He was going to get his ass kicked by some
Because isn't
puny,
Zuckerberg's actually trained and knows real moves?
supposedly. Yeah, he does, supposedly.
All Elon had was going for him was some mass.
I'm going to say right here and right now on Arguing with Tom and Jerry that you and I would be willing to fight Mark Zuckerberg.
So, like, why would he fight us?
Because we are at the top of the podcast game. We're the
That's
ones
true.
paying his bills, ultimately.
That's true.
Without creative content, he has nothing. Without data, he has nothing. He's
Yeah, I mean,
mining the data from all of our listeners.
Our episodes are on his Facebook creation,
That's right. That's right. And then I would also offer that, if Elon Musk wanted to give it a shot as well, then you and I would fight Elon Musk. Tom and Jerry versus Elon Musk in the match of the century.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like fighting. I don't fight.
We
I've
could
never
we
fought.
could we could okay. We could say we're going to have a battle of wits. Tom and Jerry versus Elon Musk in a battle of wits. And we have maybe a moderator or something. We'll have
I figure he's probably a lot smarter though. Probably has a lot more wits.
I don't know. Isn't he South African?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. But I'm not going to just take it on its face that Elon Musk could defeat Tom and Jerry in a battle of wits. Or Mark Zuckerberg either. We could have a contest, maybe Tom and Jerry versus Mark Zuckerberg in a battle of being a normal human being. And so you're going to have these measures of like your
That's true. I
socially
mean, I can at least
awkward
take
and
drinks of water and look normal.
right. Drink some water and look normal. Get out of the metaverse.
It's easy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You don't have to. Yeah.
Do you own a lawnmower?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
Yeah.
Do your neighbors own lawnmowers?
Yeah.
Do your neighbors' own lawnmowers?
I can only assume.
You think the mayor of your town owns a lawnmower?
I bet he does. We build lawnmowers right here in this town, so.
So why does everybody own a lawnmower?
You think each neighborhood should have one mower and they could share it?
There you go. You are brilliant. Like, what's wrong with a tool library? Why do we all have to have our own lawnmowers? Why can't
Because
you
you know how
use them?
bad it sucks when you need something and it's someone else is using it, or they treated it like crap because it's not theirs. They don't have to take care of it. They just leave it on the street. It gets all rusted and ruined.
Yeah, but you could have some sort of mechanism by which there's a social agreement that they're well taken care of, they're returned on time, this and that. It just seems like a waste to me that everybody has their own lawnmower, everybody has their own, power drill, everybody has their own like thing that they drive around in, the little go-karts.
Americans don't want to have to wait around.
That's right.
When they want to go now.
That's right.
They got time to mow now.
That's right. That's right.
We don't have a leisurely, way of life. We're just always going.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Yeah, we work real hard.
And we play hard.
And we play hard.
That's it for this episode of Arguing with Tom and Jerry.
Okay.
And I was gonna remind all the listeners to please like and subscribe, and to smash the like button, and to like if you were taking the like button snorkeling, like get it started, get the like button started, and then put a banana in the pipe.
I hope that everybody interrogates the like button like they're a CIA lawyer at Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, strap the like button down and dribble just a tiny bit of water over and over and over and over again until you drive the like button crazy.
Waterboard that like button.
Yeah, waterboard it.
Waterboard.
Put the like button in a wheelchair and push it down the stairs. Take the like button deep sea scuba diving.
Yes.
And right before,
yes.
and when he's not paying attention,
right.
change out the oxygen with carbon monoxide and send him down there.
Touch that like button like you're a Catholic priest in a room with an altar boy.
That's it.
What's wrong
That's
with
where
that?
It ends. That's where it ends.
Eat that like button. Eat that like button like Roseanne Barr in front of a big plate of fried chicken.
Subtle beauty and class.